Hi, everyone. I know no one's here, but I just want to start talking so that if you are catching this on the playback, you understand what I'm doing. So I am going to start to go live more often. I am finding it hard. Hi, Clayton. I am finding it hard to create content for this channel like every week. So what I think is the next best thing to do is to go live, just for conversation, to interact with all of you, um, create a discussion, if you will. If there's anything that you want to ask me, you can ask me. But that's kind of like what my idea is going forward for this channel. I will create, yeah, I don't know about the conspiracy stuff. I'm kind of over it. Like, I was on that kind of stuff like 3 years ago. I was deep in it. Like, I went through some real dark rabbit holes. But with my ascension, they've just moved me out of that. They've just moved me completely out of that. It's kind of a waste of time. It really is a waste of time. The best thing that you can do is honestly focus on yourself because, when you do watch that kind of stuff, it does have like a negative energy to it. Like, I'm not going to lie. I never really felt that great after watching it. I mean, you do you. You watch whatever it is that you want to watch. Me personally, I just don't want to give life to it. I know all that I know with respect to this world and how dark it can be, but I just want to focus on myself. That's just kind of where I feel like I'm going, now. So this is kind of what started this channel. But yeah, conspiracy stuff, I don't know. It's there. There's a million people doing it. You don't necessarily need to watch me. There's a lot of people, heavy into that kind of stuff with channels. So yeah. But, I just feel like doing lives is what's coming next for me. I do feel like I need to start interacting with my audience. I actually don't really know much about any of you or, who's watching me over here. I really do want to like thank everybody for, just the love that I've received, just even the fact that you guys have been resonating with the videos. I really didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was guided by spirit to start this channel, my higher self. And I understand now because honestly, when you learn all that you learn, you are to pass it on. You really are. You're not just supposed to keep it to yourself. There's a lot of people right now who need a lot of help, okay, with navigating this earth plane. Where's my chat? How come I can't see? That's bizarre that I can't see. I can see it down here. But there's a lot of people who need help right now. Hi. How are you, Mexi girl? Is it Mexi girl? Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm going to start doing more lives. I need to interact with you all, your videos. Hi, Citrine. I just want to say thank you, especially to you, Citrine. You've been consistent, like just really consistent across the board on everything that I'm doing. And it really makes me feel special. People don't really understand what creators go through. You really are throwing yourself sometimes into a fish tank, and there's sharks out here, so like when you have people who support and through commenting, but always being there, it's really appreciated. So I want to say thank you. But yeah, like I understand now why my guides wanted me to start this channel because people need the information, and there's a lot of people struggling out there. They have no idea what they're going through. They think it's something else, and for you to tell them that they're going through ascension, it would be like, huh? They'd be like, what? Like, I'm going through ascension, what's that? It's just really sad that we don't have the kind of help that we have out there for people right now, especially. No one's going to talk about it. Nobody's going to put it on your mainstream media news. it's, you really got to find the information yourself. But, I'm doing my part, I'm taking with what I've learned, and, I'm creating this content for all of you. Um, so that maybe there's something I say that lights, like a bulb up in your head, and you'd be like, maybe I should dive a little deeper into that. That's really what I'm trying to do. I did just film a video before I hopped on this live. It will be released tomorrow. It's basically in regards to, when people leave. You know how people tend to have a lot of resistance around that. I'm going to try to like help you navigate that and to understand that it's the biggest blessing in disguise. You are special, Chicha. Thanks. I have changed and grown a lot because of you. I really appreciate that. Is that like through the other channel? Because, sometimes I feel like I do want to change people like through that kind of way. But sometimes I don't know if I am, but you know me, I'll always incorporate ascension. I'll incorporate, because it's important. It's important. This is going to be the biggest thing that you're doing. We've had a lot of like that light switched off within us since we stepped foot on this planet. We have no memory of anything. And then we get told, what it is. And so we forget. And then we've got that, the indoctrination. It's so powerful, guys. Do you understand? You have to unprogram yourself. It's not a joke. This is work. I remember you from a video I watched of yours once. Nice. I'm just going to look a little closer. Okay, because I can't see. Yeah, like it's really about a remembering. I'm trying to get you to remember. So I'm not trying to like preach to you guys. I'm just trying to maybe say something that will, ignite a memory. Okay. But you at the end of the day have to do the work, but you will do the work. You will get it done. Do not have, any kind of doubts about that. This is not a race, guys. Ascension is not a race. And don't compare yourself to somebody else ever. Stay in your own lane. Doing what you love is actually a really big thing. That's going to help you navigate yourself a lot better here too. You got to start doing what lights you up. And it doesn't have to be something outrageous. Just wake up in the morning and say like, would I rather do this? Or would I rather do that? I know a lot of you are like, Chitra, come on. Like, like I got to go to work. I get it. But in the moments where you can choose, okay? Thank you for sharing your gifts with us. You are very welcome. Oh, that's amazing, and there's no coincidences as to why, maybe Citrine, you were guided towards me. Everybody's being guided to whoever they need to be guided to. This is all by design. There is no coincidences whatsoever as to even why you're here right now watching me, So it's really important to have your ears open, have your eyes open, stop reacting to everything and take a step back, maybe ask yourself, what is this trying to show me? What is this? Why is this happening? I guarantee you, you do that, you'll move a lot, clearly through than, resisting. It was that weird feeling. Yeah, that weird feeling video. I can't believe how that just popped off. Like I was shocked. 18K it's at right now, views. I was shocked. It just shows you, and you see, even by me creating that video, what did that do, guys? That showed you that you weren't the only one feeling it, not just because of what I was talking about, because of everybody else in the comment section. So it's really like those kind of things that really, because sometimes when you go out into your, physical world, people are not going to know what the hell you're talking about. And right now it is safer for most people to connect online. It's not the easiest to start going out there and talking because you know what's going to happen, right? People are going to say you're nuts. You should go see a doctor. You're crazy. So the safest thing for people I find right now is to be connecting online. And most people are finding their soul tribe that way. But you have a lot to look forward to because we will be moving more into the physical. So I don't know if any of you know about the new earth, but we're all on that trajectory. And I do believe all of you are going to, because you wouldn't be watching this. You wouldn't be watching my videos. You wouldn't be feeling anything weird in the air, you know? You're on your way, but I just want you to know, like, you're going to start to move into having this in the physical. It won't be that you have to look for it online anymore. Because I know that's annoying. It's annoying. You know, I don't know, but 2 days back when I was staring at the sky, suddenly I started seeing sparkles glittering everywhere. I have no idea. Yeah. So a lot of people are going to start looking to the sky. This is on purpose. Okay. So this is why you have like 3-eye atlas. This is why there's a lot of action in the sky. It's like they're trying to disclose. Okay. It's just basically disclosure. But you're going to notice a lot of that. And I would urge you to actually look up. A lot of people, probably even in your own life, you can resonate with the fact that at one point in your life, you never used to look up. I never used to look up. Are you kidding me? I wasn't even into nature. I was like, ew, I need air conditioning, you know? So I'm feeling new community after a big old isolation phase. Well, guess what? You know what the good news, Wendelin, is that if you're in isolation right now, you're probably, okay, gonna be moving. I don't know how much I want to say here. I didn't expect the crowd that I'm expecting right now. You guys know a lot. There's going to be like 2 timelines for 5D, New Earth. And I would say if you're in isolation right now and you resonate with being in it for a while, you're probably going into the timeline where you will be building up the new earth and there will be a lot of action over there. This is my first live, guys. Bear with me. I don't know how much I want to talk about. I'm just dipping my toe right now. I'm just testing the temperature because, like I said, I don't know who any of you are. I've never done a live. I've never started a discussion with any of you. So I'm just getting warmed up. But what I will do is, like I said, because this looks like it's going very well, I will be here more often. You better believe that. Because A, it's what I'm being guided to do. Spirit wanted me to. They're like, you got to connect with the people over there. But also because I'm starting to see, you know, the engagement is like, it's not out of whack. It's pretty in alignment. I'll definitely be disclosing more. So please make sure that you are hitting all notifications because, oh my goodness, I'm not sure why, but with YouTube, you know, for some reason, just hitting the subscribe button doesn't do it. You got to do like other steps. So, because I can't promise or do any kind of scheduling as to kind of like when I'll go live. I'm pretty in the moment. I like to move in the moment. I like to be spontaneous. So it could be any time of the day. So just make sure, you know, you're hitting notifications, but this is good. This is good. You're a second wave volunteer. Second wave volunteers, I feel like all know at this point that they are. You know, there's not one second wave volunteer right now that doesn't know that they are. Some volunteers are going, you know, in a different direction, where they kind of still are in the 3D world, but they affect change through their work and whatnot. But then you've got the other ones who are like us, you know, like they just have to show up. You know, guys, I can't tell you, I've gotten okay with it, but there was a lot of times, a lot of years I didn't understand. I used to tell people, I used to ask people, like, is something on my face? Why is everybody looking? Even people I would be with, you know, like you walk in and everybody stops eating. They're like, and I'm like, what's going on here? What the heck is going on? Like it used to freak me out. Now I'm okay with it. Now I'm okay with it. But you know that whole being stared at. Oh, that was something you had to probably work out, right? I'm a second wave volunteer. I also resonate with being one of the, you will be united with them. You will be united with them very soon. That 144,000, it's not going to be like a number in your head anymore. You will be, eventually we will all be soon connected in the physical. We have real aura. Yeah. I can't tell you also too how many times people have commented on my actual videos on this channel and told me that they see the aura like around me. And then so like I went and I looked and I was like, oh my God, yeah, it's like yellow. You should go scroll back in my videos. You'll see it too. It's the most bizarre thing. Yeah, like they saw a ghost. I had it with more than men. I had it with like children, dogs, like animals. I've had it with just like anyone. But what really like, you know, and I kind of was hated for it sometimes, you know, like I had people I used to walk around with that didn't like that. They were like eyeballs everywhere. They didn't used to like it, walking around with me. They'd be like, can't we just go somewhere and not like shake the room up? I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do, you know? Because there would be times I would be looking busted, okay? Like, and that's when I was like, okay, this is real. This is not about me being in full makeup. This is something different. The worst were like the real super public places, like the gyms and stuff. And this was like a woman's gym I went to at the time, where it was this one place I would affect the place. Do you find too that like sometimes electronics would act funny? Like electronics. Like there were many occasions where I would walk by, like back in the day, you know, when you had like a boom box or something and it would just shoot up, like the volume would just shoot up. That was really scary. I didn't feel like it was something dark. I felt like it was me. I turned notifications on. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. You have to put it to all or something. I don't know why they do this, but yeah, like it's interesting. It's interesting. And I get it. You know, finding Dolores Cannon was the best blessing because I actually don't even know how I stumbled upon her. She was just put in my, you know, suggested feed. And you will find, guys, that on YouTube, you will think it's just YouTube suggesting. No. That in itself is magic, okay? So I just started watching, and the first thing I watched about her was the volunteers. And it was interesting because when she talked about the first ones, I was like, that sounds like my mother. Like that sounds like my mother, like the first wave. Then she started talking about the second one, and I was like, whoa. Especially when she said they work from home and they don't really like people. I love people. I love the idea of people, but I can't be around them unless they're super detached in their energy and not needy. If they're needy, it's a recipe for disaster. I get so drained. I just like, you have to be super detached if I'm gonna hang around you. If you're coming like you have this need energy, I'll just get drained. You fought someone. That's funny. People fight me when I didn't fight anybody. Is that someone else? I don't know what you mean by fought somebody. I don't think I said that. Maybe that was someone else. But yeah, like you just have to be super detached. But yeah, do you find too, as a second wave volunteer too, like you can resonate with the fact that like you've had to carry the room? You have to carry the room. Like I have went places where it would make me feel uncomfortable if it was like boring or awkward. So then I had to step up and become like this one woman show. But then I would get so sick after when I left, you know? Emotional air purifier here. Okay. Yeah. I just feel like I would get so sick after that. But yeah, I don't know. I like people. I like the idea of people. I just don't want you to need me. Okay? Because my whole life, people have like trauma dumped. They have, you know, used me as a therapist. It's like, I don't know what it is, but it's like they feel like I have the answers to everything. I don't know where they get that from. I don't know if it's my demeanor, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of second wave volunteers that understand that. I find that people will blame me for things that I don't even do. For some reason, people think the worst of me before they get to know me. It's your frequency, it's triggering them. Yeah, it's your frequency. Do not try to make anybody like you. This is something I feel like we had to also learn as second wave volunteers, because there's a lot of that too, you know, just being misjudged, or it's like, you know, they don't know, they don't know consciously when they're around you why they feel what they do, but they just feel it. So they react to it. The thing is that most people are not going to take a step back and say like, why is that? You know, they'll just kind of project back onto you. But you're not here to make anybody like you. You're not here to make anybody feel comfortable. Whatever people's opinions are of you, it's their problem. Don't go trying to convince people to like you, because I went through that phase at one point. And what a waste of time. What a waste of time. What a waste of energy. Yeah. Yeah. It's very annoying. This is why the volunteers just like to be alone. They don't like to work. They like to be usually their own brand, or they like to work for themselves. Working for others too will attract some, you know, really crazy things. Like I do find in my life, I've worked under some really nasty people, like really nasty people who just like, I don't know, were like out to get me. Like if I didn't just do what they wanted me to do, or do the extra that they wanted me to do without sticking up. Like it's like sticking up for yourself is going to be another one, another big one in your life path, because you know no one else is going to do it for you. And listen, the crazy thing is, the more I detach, the more people seem to, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, you know that's law of physics, right? You know that's law of physics, right? Just the human, you know, social behavior, that's a thing. The more people want what they can't have. If you're coming across as clingy, open, I'm there for you, then for some reason you get treated like crap. You detach, you kind of like give people space the more they want. And this is why, honestly, like, I mean, I've always been detached, but this is why it's hard for me to be in a relationship. Like I'm married right now, but that's because my partner leaves me the F alone. Like he lets me do what I want. He doesn't try to smother me. He doesn't bother me. I'm not into like jealousy. I'm not into you telling me what I can do, what I can't do. You know, I'm a free spirit, you know, so it's gonna, you know, it's gonna take some time, but yeah, yeah, it does. Yes. Listen, there is truth in there. How much of it is true? I don't know. I'm pretty sure you understand what I mean by that. It's funny, actually, you know, spiritual people and religious people actually say the same thing. They, at the crux and the foundation of it, we saying the same thing. It's just different. And this in itself causes a ton of division. You know, it's just, that is its own timeline in itself. These people will at some point find out. I don't know that they'll accept it, but it's kind of funny. The people that they call demonic are actually the ones already being like ascended, okay? Like raptured is just like the rapture is ascension. It's ascension. There's people right now that are going through that and live in their highest. They experience heaven on earth. I experience heaven on earth daily. I experience joy, like high vibration. But you gotta like do the work, you know? If you think someone's just gonna pick you up and save you, I mean, no, you have to do the work. But it's unfortunate because, like I said, religious people and spiritual people, they say the same thing. It's just in different wording. But I feel like one side is open and has more compassion, while the other one's more closed off and judgmental. So it's really hard, you know, to get, you know, just even an agreement between the two. But like I said, they will find out. We will be given our history very soon. We will be given our history. Guys, we don't even know what our history is, okay? I would really urge you to just go within because that's where the disclosure is going to be. Like I told you, you can watch your conspiracy stuff. Yes, you know, it is good to kind of know like what the world is up to or what really exists here, but don't spend too much time on it because then you're taking time away from yourself, right? Really, it's within. Ask yourself why you need that disclosure. Why do you need it? You know it exists, right? I feel both the crowd and any sector has surface belief in whatever it is, it's an exterior. People can decide whatever it is they believe, but then ask yourself at the end of the day, how is your life going? How is your life going? Are your beliefs creating a better experience for you? Hey, Tanny, can happiness really be found in working on yourself? Is going out parties all a sham? It can be, but it's not really about happiness, Tanny. It's about peace. It's really about peace. You know, define happiness, you know? I would rather have peace, you know? Going out and partying is not, when you look at it as a whole, a bad thing. It's who is there. Are they in alignment with you? Are you like, what are you doing when you're there? Are you doing things that would kind of seem like lower frequency? I mean, listen, everybody does need to experience what they need to experience, but it's not about parties. It's about alignment. You know, whether you feel like going to that party, ask yourself, you know, going out. Okay. But when it comes to doing inner work, you have to be isolated. So I guess what I want to say is when you're on a journey too, you know, that doing that inner work, finding and being in alignment with your higher self, it's not going to be filled with parties. It's just not, you know. We have been trained to be constantly busy, but like, think about it, right? Perfect way to get people off their path, right? You have to be busy. You should be hosting. People are inviting you. You should go. Oh, that's so rude if you don't go. What's the best way to get you off your path? Get you distracted with a bunch of people. You know, like you're over here, you're looking at this when it's like, are you looking over there too? Or are you just looking over there? It's really a cycle you have to be careful of getting, you know, completely enveloped in, because inner work is going to have to, you're going to have to isolate. I've been in isolation for 5 years. 2026 will be the 6th year. Before that, I was in isolation from 2008 to 2015. Okay. I can't tell you how much work I got done on myself by being isolated for those years. It would have never happened if I was at a job or if I was constantly going out with people, like even like twice a month. Um, I understand now why isolation happens, um, but we really have to start changing our perspective with isolation because we always think we're being tortured. We always think we're being punished. Something's wrong, but it's not our fault that we feel that way because, again, nothing's been taught. Like, do you understand how far ahead we would be as a civilization if this was taught to us when we were like 2? Can you imagine? Like, if we were taught how powerful we were and that to have success, you didn't have to go this path, the same path they sell everybody. I have been feeling lighter lately. Something changed, peaceful and calm. I do have the same things going on, but I don't feel like they are obstacles anymore. That's great. And every path is very different. Um, I could be getting prepared for something that is very different from you. So you may not need that kind of isolation. Me, I needed the isolation. I needed to be like taken out of the world for like, like again, the first one lasted 8 years. This one's 5 years. I was let out a bit, but then I was back in. But I know what I'm being prepared for. I can't really divulge that right now. Maybe one day I will. Maybe you guys will all be here for that. But I understand now the preparation that's needed. But no two paths are the same. So yeah, some people will be isolated for, a year or 5 years or 10 years. I've seen some people tell me they've been in isolation for 20 years. It's like, wow, good for you. Like, you are a soldier because, you have to be able to handle this and you have to be able to have that faith that you'll figure it out. Then you're going to spiral, Yes, love isolation, love solitude. It's a real deal and did for the highest good. See, that's the way to look at everything. And that video that I'm going to be releasing tomorrow is going to talk about that. Everything at the end of the day, guys, comes down to perspectives. 12th house stellium. Is that when you have 5 or more planets in the same house? Because I have a lot of that. Like, I'm a sun in the 12th house. I'm a Mercury in the 12th house. And that's in Vedic astrology too. So you better believe I'm the real deal. Because, listen, you can be what you are, but when you have it in both, it's legit. But yeah, I have a lot of that. Same thing. My Jupiter's in the 12th house. I think that's why probably my abilities, my psychic ability, I had psychic abilities since I was born. I remember being as young as 4 years old. I can't remember anything before that, but 4. 4 is when I can log back to 4 years old. Nothing before that. I remember like just looking at this place, like this, like Earth, and thinking how weird it was here and like how weird the people were. Like, especially my parents and stuff. I just remember looking at them like, why can't you just get it together? Like, it's so easy. Like, I feel like I knew the answers, but they would make it so difficult, But I remember feeling very old at a young age, like old. I don't know how to explain that, but it's like, I felt like I was 100 years old when I was 4 and 5 and 6. My psychic abilities did kind of go away from my teenager years because I think that was like me trying to figure out who I was, but really came back. There's been levels to this, but I was always a big dreamer. Yeah, soul family. You may resonate that the fact, your soul family is maybe not in this galaxy, you just don't feel like, I don't know. And I never resonated with school. Oh my goodness, school was so boring for me. Like, you don't understand how I used to just count the years to like when I didn't have to go, anymore. I was like, I just don't want to be here anymore. This is the most boring thing. And I never cared about authoritative figures, you know? Like I didn't used to look at my teachers and be like, oh, because you're a teacher and you're an adult, I have to bow down to you. No, I never cared about any of that, you know, especially when they had their rules. If a rule makes sense, sure. But I'm thinking about your rules, and if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm not following it. Okay. But I was always that one with looking out the window, you know, like and I remember them like talking to my parents about that. Like she's always looked like she's daydreaming. I mean, I don't really know what I was thinking about. I can't remember like what it was, but I do remember looking out the window, but I don't remember what I was thinking about in that moment. But it was just so boring. Rules are meant to be broken. I mean, some rules make sense. You know, rules are, you know, like some make sense. Like don't text and drive. That makes sense, okay? But like majority is like, who are you to tell me like how to live? Who are you like to tell me anything? Like seriously, who are you? I am in charge of myself, okay? I will be doing what I feel guided to do, and you do what you feel guided to do, but don't come over here and start telling me what I need to do, okay? So yeah, like it's just been very interesting. And I would say in 2020, okay, I had an awakening in 2020 to the world. That to me was the most painful. That was the most painful. I've had 4 awakenings, but the most painful to me was the one in 2020 when I woke up to my world. I mean, I always rebelled a little bit, but I didn't know it was like that bad, okay? But that's when everything started amplifying. And you guys are on my, hi, Laren Kitten. You know, you guys are on my, you've been watching my videos, right? So you know I did that one with my session with Alba Weinman. When I went and did that session with Alba Weinman, holy SHIT, I can't tell you how much it opened. It opened so much, and I don't know what I want to call it. I don't know if I want to call it a portal. I don't know if I want to call it an energy. I don't know what it was. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. It's not in my session, but like I knew Billy the Kid. Do you guys know who Billy the Kid is? I knew him in a past life. I didn't even know who Billy the Kid was until I had that session. Not only that, if you ever watched my session, I talk about, you know, she asks me where I am in this one particular scene, and I was like, Lemuria. And then I said to her, I go, I don't even know what Lemuria is. I just heard it. There is nothing like hypnosis. I mean, you can go and get all the psychic readings you want, but OMG, hypnosis, I didn't want to come out. It was so fun. I was like, this is the most fun I've had I can't even remember. And that's the kind of person I am. I want to have cool experiences. Like, how cool would it be if we had like a past life pavilion where we could go on a weekend, buy a ticket, you know, they'll give you just enough for like, you know, one ticket, you know, one session, and you can like see who you were in a past life. Isn't that cool? That's so cool. Or let's say, you know, instead of, and I'm talking about like we replace movies, okay? We replace that in theaters and dinners with that. Or like another day we go and we can go to a past life, not past life, sorry, another dimension or era, okay? But we go like invisible, so we don't affect the timeline. How cool would that be? I would go right to the 70s, put me in Studio 54, and I'm gonna dance my ass off for one night, okay? Yeah, like that's the kind of stuff I find cool. So when I went for that hypnosis session, I was just like, oh my God. And she says you can only do it once a year. Like you're not allowed to do it more than that. But I have been thinking about going back. But it would have to be divinely ordained, because I don't know how much you know about Alba Weinman, but you can't just go to her site and get a session. Are you kidding me? So she puts out her like email once a month, but not even really, because she goes and does other things. So sometimes she's not even available. You have to catch that email within 2 seconds, and you have to have all your information in the form filled out and like entered to get the session. That's how fast they go. So trust me when I say, if you go and you get in, it's because you were meant to. But I've been thinking about going again. I'm like, I've healed a lot, but I want to see the future now. Like, show me like more about the new earth. Like, I'm hoping if I go, I will get shown the future and not the past, even though I know it's all happening at the same time. But I just find it so fun. And I'm going to tell you another thing too. The things I healed in that session, guys, when I tell you, when you come back, it's like it never happened. So let's say, for example, you have a lot of beef with your father or a family member, and it goes back like lifetime to lifetime. When you heal it in that session, it's like it never happened. It's like you feel nothing. It's like memory or something was wiped clean, like the slate. You put it to bed. It's like mind-blowing. But I do want to say, because I don't want to make everybody so excited, I do want to be a little realistic here. Some people, and she did share this with me, some people, like most people do go in or under, but like some people have not been able to be hypnotized. She also does say that, you kind of have to be ready for it. It has to be at a certain point in your life, which I think if you're there, it's probably your time. But it's not her that heals you, right? It's you that heals you. So the healer never heals you. The healer sets up a frequency in which if the person that they're healing is ready and can meet that frequency, then heals themselves. But I was always watching her, like since 2008. Her videos showed up in my suggested feed. So I started watching, and then I was like, why am I getting like healed from other people, watching other people go under? I was like, what is this? Like, I'm watching other people in their session and I'm getting healed, or I'm getting information. So like, I would urge you, if you want to, just explore it to see what you pick up, go watch her channel, because like, you will find out so much through other people. It's like some people may go through something that was very similar to you, and then you find out why maybe that happened. But I kind of was trying, for a few years before, never could get through. Then it was my time. And I share in that video how there was a feather this big. Okay, so I went down for breakfast in the morning before my session. That feather wasn't there. I don't know if it's a Florida thing. I've never seen a video. I've never seen a feather that big. I come back up. I'm getting ready to leave for my session. A feather this big. I was like, if that's not a sign that I'm exactly where I need to be. Oh, wow. And you know what was interesting too about the session too was when I was done, I got really sick. It was like almost, it was coming out through my pores. Like it was like a release. Like I had a cold, but it was a severe one. And I was like, this is totally my body, like just getting all of this, whatever it is, outside of me. The whole experience was insane. Her name is Alba Weinman, Alba, last name Weinman. Oh, you follow me on Insta, cool. Yeah, I like birds too. We have Canada geese over here. I find them quite the character. I don't know, they're a very interesting like bird. They're just quirky. Yeah, the getting sick is real. Like body stopped digesting. No, it was like after, like when I got back, like immediately when I got back, I just got sick. Like, and I could just tell it was a part of the healing. But there was a lot of interesting things that happened too. Like I was visited by her before I had my session. I was visited by her in like my dream space because I was getting cold feet. I was getting cold feet. I didn't want to go. I just was getting really nervous. And she came through to say like, it's okay. And then I had a prediction for her. So I'm not going to share it, but like I saw something that she needed to know. I saw something on her. And then when I met with her in person, because you get to talk a bit before you have the session, I told her and she's like, yeah, I know that's coming. That makes sense to me. I was like, that's so cool. But yeah, my body also just stopped eating 2 days before I went. And I didn't know what that was about. I just couldn't eat. And I actually didn't read her disclaimer about, make sure you're not eating anything heavy before you come. But my body just did it, like my spirit guides just led me to it, on its own. So the whole time I was there, which was for 2 nights, I flew in. I didn't eat anything except for crackers and water. I couldn't. That's the level of healing that took place. But this, you see how like you will be led? You will be led. You guys don't have anything to worry about. Okay. I really want you to stop worrying so much about anything. You're not alone in this, okay? You have a huge team there with you, helping you. And, all you have to do is ask. If you want to see more, like you feel like you're not seeing what you need to see, or you want the tools, or just ask. You're not alone in this, but you have nothing to worry about. At this point in my life, I realized like everything led me where, I needed to be. I never once was not led or guided. Like, you're protected. Wow, is physical reality is an illusion? Yes, the struggle can change if your lessons are learned. Okay. I want to be really honest with you guys. I don't face struggle as much anymore. Like I said, a lot of it is your perspectives. You don't even understand a lot of the times you're in your own way. People don't want to hear that though. They think you're attacking them. They think you're judging them. I'm telling you what I've learned. I've learned this myself. You are always, usually it's you in your own way. If you can change your perspective on what you're dealing with, and you can adopt and really believe, because people want to say, oh yeah, I trust, really? Well, what I'm seeing here is not proving that, okay? This can help you, and you will find that through releasing these belief systems, these things that are no longer serving you, you will just seem to have a lot better of a time. You're not going to really care anymore when something goes wrong, or, you're going to be more in a state, well, I guess it was supposed to be like that. Or, maybe that, the blessing will soon be revealed later, like you're just not going to have that reaction. But I don't have bad days like I used to. I used to have bad days. So way back when I would get them for like a week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, a week. Then they started going down to like 3-4 days. I would be out for the count. And it would be so weird too, because when I woke up the next morning, I was all of a sudden in better spirits, and I was like, I didn't even do anything. Like, what happened here? It's like it just turned off, Then it went down to like 1 day. Then it was like a few hours. Now it's like hardly ever. I can't tell you the last time I've been in the dumps, okay? You don't see them as struggles, not anymore, after realizing you are... Yeah, like people always ask me, what do you do to protect yourself? Well, why would I have to do anything? Like, if I believe I'm protected, why would I have to pray for protection? Like, this is conflicting here. You know what I mean? So my belief system is that I am protected. So why would I have to ask for it or pray for it? It can be as simple as that. I'm just using an example. Let's say you have a husband, okay? Let's use some random things. Let's say you have a husband, love of your life, okay? Up and out of nowhere, just leaves you in the night. You can, you can choose, because you are always choosing. That's another thing people don't like to admit to, is that the fact that they're choosing. You are choosing. You're always choosing. Nothing is just one way, okay? You can choose to believe that this is the end of the world, Yes, you will feel sad or whatever, but what if you chose the higher route and said, you know what? Maybe this needs to happen. Maybe I don't know right now why, but it will be revealed to me. But this is not the end of my life. This is not the end of the world. Like maybe there's a better purpose, a better reason. That's I'm going to soon be again revealed to me as to why this happened. Obviously, that can't be every situation. I mean, there's people like sometimes something bad happened, okay, but for the most part, if you can just rise up in your just elevate a little bit in your perspective, it can be a little easier for you. It can be way easier for you here on this planet, knowing that whatever is happening, it's supposed to. There's no mistakes. And guys, that's the other thing. Like don't believe in that with the mistakes. Whether it's you think you made a mistake or someone else made a mistake, there's no such thing. Even just like how we're here right now and you're watching me, you think that's a mistake? It's not. Because then that's like saying you believe in coincidences. And I don't know. I don't know about coincidences. It doesn't sit with me to believe with that about that coincidence. No. So do you see how I've just kind of like named off like all these different ways of thinking? Think about it. If you were to adopt that, don't you think you would have a better time? So majority of the time, people are in their own way, but you can't help anybody. You can't help everybody. You can't help anybody, I should say. It's a self journey. So if you are out there and you are trying to wake up others, oh, thank you, Island Girl. That I'm so happy that and you did the work. You did the work. You did the work. You did the work. Just I'm just the messenger, saying something that resonates with you. But at the end of the day, you're the one who's doing the work. So you thank you, okay? But yeah, if you're out there trying to help people, it's unfortunate that it's set up this way. There were people I tried to help around 2020. Oh man. Boy, did that ever I just got smacked in the face by trying to do that. Like, I don't mean literally, but oh wow, I didn't expect that kind of reaction by trying to help people. It's a self journey. There are probably a lot of you who are watching who feel like you've learned great wisdom and you want to share it with your family members. You watch them, you see them struggle, you're like, I was there too, but I can give you the codes. You can't just give people the codes. They have to be ready to hear it, okay? You can't force yourself. I mean, think about it. You want people at your door trying to make you a Jehovah Witness, trying to preach to you about no, nobody wants that. It's the same thing. So, people have to be guided to, it's the soul that decides when it's ready to wake up. It's not going to be you. But I understand, it's conflicting because, you want to help. Even with what I do here on this platform, I can't do in my physical life. That's why the internet is a good thing, because I put it out there and whoever needs to see it or whoever suggested feed it pops up in, it's because they're supposed to see it. But that even in itself is very passive, right? But I'm not on the internet trying to force people to watch my videos. They're guided to it, right? But I can't do this. I've even had people actually, they think they're ready and they've tried to tell me or ask me for guidance and I give it to them. And I can feel it it's just not what they want to hear. They wanted something else instead, or they're like, yeah, no, I don't know about that, you know? So it's really a self journey. Yeah, and people sometimes judge you for being too positive. Oh my God. Yeah. What they're judging really is themselves, because you've got something they want. They want to be in those types of spirits, but they don't feel like they can. And it's almost like it's kind of like envious in a way, but they're not really judging you, they're judging themselves. People do have limiting beliefs. They feel like if you've got it, they can't get it. But it's really that they're being triggered. You know, they want to be as happy as you are. They just don't know how to get there. Okay. You will be called at this time. Those of you that have learned, you know, a lot, you will be called to have patience, compassion. Guys, I can't tell you how me back in the day, if you came at me in public, oh, I came at you. I was like, oh, you're not gonna talk to me like that. Now I'm like, not worth my time. If anything, I just look at them and I'm like, I have a lot of compassion, you know? My brain starts to go with like, maybe they're having a bad day. Who knows what they dealt with this morning? Maybe they've got no money. Maybe like bills are tight. Like maybe they hate their job. That's where I go now. I don't combat them anymore. You are going to have to learn a lot of that in the coming days, weeks, months, years. You will have found this beautiful space, but not everybody will. And, you know, you kind of look at it like, it's unfortunate, it's sad, because you would want everybody to have it too, right? But it's a self journey, but you will have more compassion and you will start to understand that honestly, it's just not worth your time. 99.99% of things are not really worth your time. I had to learn that. I had to learn that. You know what's happening, Citrine? Is you've probably elevated into a different timeline. So those people that have a different frequency that's not as, you know, aligned with you, they can't fully enter. And you've actually brought me now to something, because that's another thing. Guys, there's so much to talk about. Like I could be here all day. You're going to find that there's not going to be many people on your timeline, okay? Negative people will fall away. You may see them at the grocery store and interact with them because you're paying for something, but it won't move into a closer dynamic. It's not going to be able to elevate in that way, okay? You will, again, see them here. You'll see them from far away. You may see them at the gas station. But as far as coming into your inner world, like your more intimate world where like you are actually, they have your phone number and that's not going to happen. Same here. I just have no energy now for toxic people. I've healed to the point I don't resonate with humans anymore. 11 years of spiritual journey where I only love animals. That's normal. I've heard many people talk like that, where it's just animals and nature, you know? You know, you're not saying anything I haven't heard. Humans are majority. I mean, you have to find the diamond in the rough. But majority, it's just like we think because we're here on this platform and we're all connecting that the world is waking up. But guys, we have to kind of sometimes bring it down a notch, because go out into your regular life, you know, and start talking like this. Like, go out there, go to a party, go to, I don't know, a mall. It's not gonna seem like that. And the other thing I find too right now is that we've got way too many people focused on politics. This is a distraction in itself. And, you know, once you start to understand that everything is staged and it's playing out, you know, in a staged way, it's like, why would you give life to that, you know? You know that fishbowl analogy, right? If you've watched one of my videos, the fishbowl. When you're outside the fishbowl watching, you're not paying attention to any of that stuff. Okay? You understand what it is. It is what it is. That is a lower timeline in itself. Okay? So you just don't want to be caught up in with that. You want to be working towards, you know, yourself. You want to be putting that all into yourself. You're trying to get yourself where you need to go. That timeline does have the capability to really rope you in. I was there. Yeah, I feel it shifted. I can feel I am aware of my world to a degree to guide others. I love how, but my spirit guides make me be places where people need me. Yeah, but you'll find they will not be able to come near you. My timeline is very empty. Very empty. I'm actually blocked. I could in my head want to say hello to somebody in passing, whether it be a neighbor or whatever, but I'm not allowed to. I can feel it. Like they're like, nope, you're not going to do that. You're just going to like walk by and mind your business, you know? Oh, wow. Did you see that? Whoa. The hardest part do you see what I'm talking to you about electronics? Like how I just find they always like, they react to me. I don't know what happened there. The hardest part for me during this journey has been letting go of family members. Oh, I know. I've been there, but for me, that was a long time ago. Yeah, that is very hard. And be patient with that. Sometimes it takes a couple tries. Sometimes it's not going to be right away. You'll go through like not talking, then talking back, then not talking, then talking back. And then it'll be like, you'll have this one time where you're just done. And then it just severs. But yeah, you can't take everybody into your new timeline. It's unfortunate, but you have to have the understanding that those people who are not coming with you, it's okay. They're exactly where they need to be. And maybe where they need to be is where they need to learn their lessons. And that's not necessarily where you are. So really it's all about unconditional love, detachment, wishing people well. I love you. You will have to love a lot of people from afar. Okay. This is one thing you will also learn, when you're a little further ahead with compassion, all that stuff I talked about. But as far as, taking everybody on the journey with you, it's just not what it is, I feel good about it too. No fear, lots of curiosity and joy and newness. Good. Yeah. Cause fear is an illusion. And, you will learn that it has always been an illusion, and, it's nothing. It's not anything to operate on or with, because it's just going to stop you from doing and achieving everything that you want to achieve. Isn't that saying everything you want is on the other side of fear? You're going to realize how much it stopped you in your life. It's not even real. I am feeling absolute resonance here. Did you just find me? I'm just curious. Who here just found me on the live? Or were you just subscribed? Because I'm interested. Did you just find me scrolling through lives, or like were you a subscriber? Because that would be interesting. Because you can I found somebody, I'm not ready to reveal who it is, but I found somebody randomly. Guys, you will find that too. You'll have things or people come into your life where you're like, it was so magical. It was so weird. Okay, cool. Okay, subscriber. Got it. So I was on a live watching someone I was subscribed to. My hand by accident went like this with the phone. And then I was like, what the hell? I didn't even know that you could do that. So when I was watching the person live, I didn't know that if you went like that, you would be brought to other people who were live. And so she appeared to me, and it was like I remembered her or something, or there was something. And then she was speaking, and I was like, whoa, why is this like, what is this? Like, she's speaking, whatever she's speaking about is just hitting home. Like, it feels like I'm home or something. And yeah, that's how I found somebody. But that was like so cool. It was a cool way. But that's the other thing, you want more magic in your life. You want more like fun. Get on this journey because it will be so fun. You will wake up every morning and you will be like, I'm so excited for like the unknown, as opposed to before when you wanted everything controlled. Yes, they react to me as well. Lights flickering and then fully glowing. My spirit guides are very strict and powerful. Because this time around, they literally are protecting me from all, yes, those are the coolest moments. Oh, they're so cool. You will have more 5D moments where time stops. A lot of people understand that, like, especially when they've met their twin flame. It's like, guys, you have no idea. That can happen with anybody. And you'll get sent messages. It's like, I had this really, oh my God, this is gonna sound so crazy. I had this really interesting moment where like a dog, time stopped and it made eye contact with me and it gave me a message. I won't say what the message is. It's my personal message, but it was like, what? I didn't know this could happen with animals. And then it happened the other day with someone else. It's like, if you think you only experience this like with a twin flame, this can become more of your reality, and it can happen anywhere. And it will give you that feeling too, like when they happen, these little cool moments that like you can feel all those energies around, like your team. It's like, you're never alone. You're never alone. I'm grateful right now. Oh my God. I just wonder sometimes, like, how cool, how much different would this planet have been if when we were born, like we went to a new earth school, we were taught how powerful we were. We were taught like we could get whatever we wanted with our beliefs, our thoughts. Like, what would this world look like? If you tell people that they can get whatever they want without going to like university for 10 years, it's like they would be like, you're nuts. And then they call you lazy. I'm going to tell you, there's actually a lot of people who think I'm lazy, like for the kind of work I'm doing. And I understand it's from their perspective. And, if their perspective is limited, it's okay. It's fine. It has nothing to do with me. But I have been told like, I'm lazy. I've been told, they were suspicious of me. It's like, I didn't ask you what you thought about what I was doing. It's like these people just unsolicitedly like told me. It's like, I think someone's jealous. I think you're a little jealous that I can wake up and, be creative and, manifest abundance, connect with really cool people. I think this is what's going on. Hi, how are you? It's been a while since I've been here. Hi, how are you? I healed very quickly and released my twin because honestly, they're just a catalyst for spiritual growth. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Sadly, none of the DMs are standing in their divinity. Okay, be careful with that. That's kind of like a judgment. They're doing what they need to do. They are, learning what they need to learn. It doesn't mean that it's wrong, okay? And everyone is different and in their own lane. So just wish them well, but take what you took or what you got out of it and go make the most beautiful life ever. But yeah, I think about often what this world would look like, like if we were just taught about who we are, like how powerful we are, how we can will anything that we desire into existence just by the power of thought. Yeah. This is going very well. I was super excited to do this live because again, I don't know if you've been here since the beginning of the live, but I can't create content every week for you here. I just can't. I've got a lot of other things going on. But what I said I could do was I could go live and interact with you all and do the same thing I would do in a video, you know, here, like just freely speaking. So I'm going to be doing this more often. Yep. It's going to be really important that you have all notifications set because you will miss it, unfortunately. Subscribing, it's just, you just have to take more steps than that. For some reason, I don't know. You can't just press the subscribe button and get notified, unfortunately. But yeah, I will definitely be doing this more often. It's freeing for me. And you know, this is how we connect, guys. This is how we connect. You know, this is, we're not really yet in a space where we're finding people in the physical, and it's supposed to be like that. Okay, it's supposed to be like that for now, but you will find your people. I promise you. If you're here and you're watching this, you are already on the same, I mean, we wouldn't even be interacting like this, okay, if we weren't on the same timeline. You are definitely headed towards the new earth. You're doing the work that is needed, and you've got nothing but positive things coming your way. But I know a lot of you want that interaction in person. So do I, okay? It's not necessary, but it would be nice because I love my own company. I'm cool with it. But, you know, like I would like to elevate, okay? I would like to elevate. I would like to start doing something new, you know, like advance myself a bit. So, you know, I would like that too. But like I said, there's nothing for you to worry about. Just keep doing what you need to do. Keep, you know, listening. Keeping your eyes peeled, keeping your ears peeled to what Spirit's trying to show you. Yeah, you know, I've gotten that a lot. You know, a lot of people tell me stuff like that. One thing, you know, I don't like to compliment myself too much, but I do have this way of like making it like a little bit more intimate, like it's a friend. I try to be, you know, as, you know, I don't want to come on here. You know, some people, they've got the gift of the big words, and, you know, but sometimes it can come across as a bit dry. So, you know, I have more of like a kindred. I'm trying to come across with like a kindred spirit, you know, someone you can connect to, relate to. I like to bring it down a notch. I don't like to go the route of the big words where people are like, what the hell is this person talking about? I'm not trying to be fancy in any way or super perfect. I did actually have to release a lot of that when I started this channel. I was super concerned about that, you know, speaking. And some of those videos you see on my channel took me hours to do. Now I bust out a video like that, like in 5 minutes, and I can just put it out there. So I'm very proud of myself, you know. Chitra, it's your authentic that I dig because straightforward, you know. And I just want you to know that I don't just dish it out in a straightforward way. I know sometimes it can sound kind of harsh or too in your face, but I just want you to know I'm not hypocritical. I actually like it received for me the same way as well. Some of my best teachings were people, just random people who were being used by the universe, who said something to me, and I was just like taken aback. And a lot of people would have been like, that was so rude. And I'm like, no. I would go home and I would think about what they would say. And then I would be like, you know what? They're right. They're right. But I would have never been able to hear it if they didn't put it that way. I personally I don't receive the message as well when you're dancing around it or you're kind of making it like padded. Just give it to me straight, you know? Just give it to me straight. Use as few words as possible. I just don't want to hear you rambling. But I like it the same way too. So I'm not just like a preaching person. I actually like it this way too. Yeah, you are easy to talk and connect with. That's a reason I like your talks, because you know what to tell and you say when you get it, you will, and it clicks for me. Oh, I love it because I'm harsh too. That's what I appreciate about you. You tell me what I need to hear. Yeah, guys, you're you're never gonna get anywhere with people who sugarcoat or lie to you in your face, or like, you're just never going to get anywhere. You'll get a lot further with people who tell you the honest truth. Why people are afraid of that, I'm not sure. um to be honest, I was never like that, so I don't really know, or I can't get into the head of why some people would rather it the other way. But it could just be that that's the way they need to hear it, because we're always attracting, what it is we're supposed to attract. So, for example, I could be talking about the same topic, but maybe there's a group of people who need to hear the other person talk about it that way, because that's what they need. Maybe you guys are going to be different and you need to hear it the way I'm presenting it. So it could just be summed up like that. But I don't want to ever judge people who like need that, sometimes they're just not ready. Because I will say, sometimes when you hear something, it could be hard to hear, but if you take a step back and you look at it and you think about it, it could, the truth is not always pretty. I guess we could wrap it up by saying that. Still haven't found my soul tribe yet. What is a soul tribe? How do you know that right now you're not with your soul tribe? How do you know? Have you watched my soul tribe video? Because I do find a lot of people, like when I hear them talk, and I'm not saying you, but I have heard a lot of people who talk about what they think a soul tribe relationship's gonna be like, and I'm like, no, that's not it. Mm-mm. That's not it. Um, mm-mm. It's a very detached relationship, very detached. And like I said, one of the most important things I said in that video about Soul Tribe was that you did not attract this person into your life so that they could hold your hand through ascension. Trust me when I say your Soul Tribe does not want to hear you talk about your ascension path, because honestly, they're like too busy trying to coddle themselves. Soul Tribe is not someone you hang out with every day or go to the movies and dinner with. It could be in passing, or it could be somebody who stays for a bit and you speak every day, but they will leave. Oh, they will leave. They are not here forever. They will come in, they will come out. And what I can say is, though, if you are attracting Soul Tribe in and they leave, you won't even care. You'll be like, you know what? I wish them well. I'm grateful for the fact that, they came into my life, but if they're leaving and they have to go, it's what they need to do for them. And I wish them nothing but love. I'll think about them from time to time, but I don't need to keep them or try to control them. But a lot of the times, just people think the soul tribe is like your forever friend for the rest of your life. It's not. That's what I think about too. I wonder if I found some of my soul tribe here. Soul tribe is literally anyone that you are resonating with at the moment. Now there can be, the other types of, friends that, you're resonating with because they need to teach you a lesson. That could be something a little different. But if you're here right now on this live and I'm making sense to you, or, why me and not someone else? Why didn't you stumble upon, like, nothing is coincidental. So I could be your soul tribe. I'm going to tell you something before I leave, because I'm leaving soon. I was shown in a dream and I didn't ask before I went to bed, but I had been thinking about it. I was like, what am I doing on YouTube? Like, I don't understand. Like, 'cause my story, guys. I never wanted to go on YouTube. I was called to it. Okay. What is it about? Like, why am I here on YouTube? They told me point blank, my spirit guides, or whoever told it to me, spirit guides, higher self, there's a frequency in your voice, okay? So when these particular people find you, it's either going to resonate or it's going to work like that when they hear it, and they're going to wake up. They're going to wake up. And I was like, oh, because guys, I do feel like a lot of people, we're not aware of this frequency in the voice. We talk about the energy around us, but the voice, that's on a whole other level. It's a whole other separate thing. Because people just say frequency, you know, what you're emitting off your body. No, the voice, that's a big thing too. So I was like, that's interesting. And they did tell me too that a lot of you know me from a past life. I was a teacher in some life. I didn't get the specifics of like the scene, but I did see temples. I don't know, like I can't tell you it was an ashram or like, I don't know what it looked like. I don't know what it was, but it looked like a temple. And they told me like I used to pull big gatherings. Like I would have gatherings, like people, you know, like when you're in passing and, you know, they hear you and they're like, huh, what's going on over there? Let me go hear what's going on. They said that these people knew you. They know you. They remember you from a past life. They're just not going to remember, you know, like that. But it's going to be like an innate knowing. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay, I get it now. So it makes sense because what is YouTube? YouTube connects you to the world, right? So how would I have found all of you? So that's when I stopped asking why I was on YouTube or why they wanted me to go on YouTube. I'm so happy I did though. I fought it for 8 months. I was supposed to go on like beginning of 2019. I was like, I don't want to do this. I just don't. I wish I had went sooner. You see what I'm talking about when we're in our own way? But yeah, it's been a blessing. And I didn't know really, you know, like how they were even protecting me at the same time because I had to get out of the 9 to 5. Okay. I had to get out of the 9 to 5. I did have to find a way to, you know, obviously we have bills, right? This was perfect. It was allowing me to be creative. And then at the same time, I'm working for spirit too. Okay. Because I'm helping you all, even if you just resonating with me. Okay. So it really did kill many birds with one stone. But I didn't realize the level of fulfillment that I would reach by being here, just internally. There's really nothing like waking up in the morning and giving life to your own thing. But also, you know, when people write me and tell me that I helped them, there's nothing like that. Like there's just, it's priceless. It's like, wow, me, I did something to help you. Wow. Like I even thinking about it, I'm gonna get tears. Like it's just the level of fulfillment of that. It's like there's a purpose, you know, than just like sending emails. And I'm not trying to knock anybody who sends emails. I just like, this is so much for me personally fulfilling than what I used to do with sending emails and, you know, like just paperwork, you know? So yeah. I'm really happy. This worked out very well. I'm excited. Thank you for everybody who showed up. Like I just, wow. I honestly thought I'd be talking to myself here because I don't have much of a following, but I really didn't think anybody would show up. So this is exciting. I will be back next week. Okay, so set those notifications and we will continue the discussion. Take care.